Yo. All right, back. Give me like 5 minutes. I'll be on. What's good? Let's talk about it. All right, people. What's good? Let's get into. All right, people. Let's get into it. Let's get into QQQ. Basically, we just got a 2-2 continuation from yesterday. I don't know if you know. I introduced myself. I'm Strat the Trader. I trade the Strat, and Yeah. So yesterday I was on live stream. Go check that out. It's a quick hour. First like 20 minutes. I'm talking about how to trade the strat. And in the strat, well, and yesterday, little lesson I gave. I talked about 2-2 continuations, right? So right here, you had a 2-2 reversal, right? I tried to get my little pencil to work yesterday, but the shit ain't want to work. Let me see if I can get a little drawing going here, right? Pretty sure it's not gonna work. Right here, we had a 2-2 continuation, right? Well, a 2-2 reversal, right? That was on Thursday. So on Thursday, I had a 2-2 reversal. Sorry, 2-2 reversal. And I said that when you got twos, you normally get twos in the same direction. And as you can see, we got a 2 up, right? That went in force. And then today, Monday, this candle went in force, which gives us 2 twos, right? One more would be a 3-2-2 continuation, right? But basically, we got a continuation from Friday, right? We cheated around inside most of the day today, and then we finally broke out, right? So we broke over the. Let me get this out of here. All right, cool. So we finally broke over the daily and the weekly because they both was inside, right? So they both. We really had a 2-1, but it went 3-2-2, right? I talked about that on yesterday, right? From the strat cheat sheet. Let me actually put that up. Right. So this is where is that? Well, this is what I'm talking about. If we get one more, that's a 2-2 continuation to the upside, right? Um, basically, we got like a 2-2 reversal on the weekly, right? Got 2-2 reversal on the weekly, and as you can see, same thing. Still, we had two actionable signals and two like, broke out, and this is what we got here, right? Same thing. All right, so this is what I'm talking about right here down at the bottom. So you say 2-2 reversal, right? That's basically what we had Friday, right? And it's continuing. So get back to the chart so you can see that. Right here, same thing on a weekly, right? But we was inside today, and we broke out. So we broke over the daily, and we broke over the weekly. So I took this trade off the daily time frame, right? And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, and we also broke over the yearly, right? So we broke over last year's high, right? We're actually right there. We hit that today, I believe. Yeah, that was the high that we went to today. If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it was inside most of the day. I mean, we teetered around like all morning. All morning we teetered around. I said, but time frame continuity was on this. The only thing wasn't green was this, but we had an inside week and an inside day at the time we went. We went 2 up on a daily and a weekly, basically at the same time because they basically was both sitting. I recorded my whole trade too. Um, so you can like right here at 12:30, we had a 2-2 reversal. right? With a 2-2 continuation. We broke over. We did a 2-1-2. Almost went to the downside, right? Wasn't looking good. I still was holding. Added to my position, actually. And then we got this hammer 2-2 reversal. And we finally broke out, right, to new highs. And if you notice, when we broke over, so we went out, all right, let me break it down. Yeah, full breakdown of how this trade played out for me, right? I was looking for the daily level to break. I was looking for the weekly level to break. I knew if they broke, we would get a 2 up on the weekly and the daily, and we would go basically. We were pushing the time frame continuity on the hour, right, to green, right, to bullish. So when we broke, right, we had a 2-2 reversal, finally broke through, right. I was kind of watching the hour here, right. I'm not a line got there, but I was watching the hour here because I was looking for this. I said, if this break through the hour, we should get a push through the daily and the weekly. So down here on the 15-minute, we pushed through, we broke through, obviously triggered a 2 up, and on the daily and the weekly, came back down, right? 2-2 reversal, and that's when we pushed up. But look what we started to reject, right? We rejected on a 5-minute broad information around here. As soon as we broke over, right? We pushed, we broke over, we rejected here on the broad information when it broke out, came back down, and obviously built a new one and rejected here, and then we got all up in here. So, but this main one right here is what I was paying attention to, right? Because it went from here to here, and this is what we rejected. We pushed up, hit it, and we got some resistance, and it came back down. So that was something to keep an eye on, and that's kind of what made it teeter around for a while. It changed on me. So that's what made it teeter around for a while. Before it finally, broke back over. Now on a 5-minute, we had a 3-2-2, right? On a 15. Now you could have took entry, right? Off this 3, right? The break of the daily and got on in. I got in a little early, right? I got in a little early. I actually got in on the first break of the daily, right? On this 2-2 reversal. Kind of played that. Got rejected up in here, came down, and we continued with another 2-2 reversal and continued to new highs on the day. I get a little mixed up sometimes talking to this mic and I be going off the dome, but bear with me. And I kept a close eye on, the 30, because obviously we got, I was looking forward to see if it was going to reverse, and we got this big push back up with the hammer candle. And obviously this hour, right? I kept a pretty good eye on, right? Looking to see if we was going to continue and push through. So we got some real strong candles, real strong volume push. So let me run this back through so I can clip it. That way I got a good clip for a short. I don't mind saying that. So let me get into my almost 300% trade. I got about 260% on this trade. And let me keep track of the time here. Point in this live stream. What I said. One second. All right, my bad. I got a phone call. It was important. All right, let me get into this. Run this back real quick. How I got almost 300%. And I talked about it yesterday in the live stream, right? So we had an inside. Well, we didn't have an inside daily. We had a 222 continuation Friday, right? Which continued today. But when we opened up, we had a 1-2. That 2 went, that 1 went into a 2 in force on the daily and the weekly. And I said, if we go in force on the daily and weekly, I was going to enter that trade, right? So, so we broke. I entered. We actually broke over, entered, and came back down. And you can see it on the 15-minute where we broke over, came down, came in, rejected here on this broad information on the 5-minute, came back down, 2-2 reversal again. And that's when we took off the new highs on the day. And that's how I got 300% on this trade. It's quite simple, right? Broke over the weekly and the daily, tested this broad information, rejected, teetered around, as I like to call it, aggregated around, went back into this hammer, 2 down, and then we went 2 up and forced back over the daily and weekly trigger and pushed up into a 222 continuation. Then we went 3, and now we are where we are live at this moment. And I got about 278%. The last screenshot I got, I can show y'all, is this one. Boom, 221%. I got another screenshot, and that was at 222, right? So at 222, so right around here, right? Let's just call it inside of here. At 222, I guess we can go into the 2-minute chart. So I can show y'all at 242, sorry. Where I was at, and I had got that screenshot. So let's find it. There you go. That's when I started to see some rejection, right? Right here. I started to see some, I need the other pointer. Crosshairs. Right here, 242. So I started to see some rejection and decided to get out, but I didn't. I actually stayed in. That's the screenshot I got though. But I got a screenshot for 270, like 8%. So yeah. Say what you want. I told you I'd be looking for 20 to 30% max loss, 25% max loss, 40+% profit. Actually, let me send that over to my computer right now. Let me send that just so y'all nobody think I'm capping. So nobody think I'm playing. Oh, my bad. 290% profit. Who am I to sell myself short? And as you can see, I have a trailing stop loss on here. Right? And that was at 3 o'clock. Boom. So let me send this over so y'all can see this. No, that wasn't the one I was looking for, actually. Sorry. Here we go. Ain't no cap in my rap. Let me rename. 290. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. There you go. No, not that one. So cool. I got 290 something percent. When we break it down for you again, and that was at 3 o'clock. Right here. Right here. 292. Trailing stop. And a $5 trailing stop on here. 292. Want me to run through the quick breakdown of how I got 292? In fact, I'm gonna give y'all a quick breakdown of how I got 292 on QQQ today using the strat. We had a daily inside candle. We had a 1-2. I said if it break the daily and the weekly, I'm entering, right? They both went 2 up in force, daily and the weekly. Came down to the 15. They broke at about 2 o'clock. I got in off this 2-2 reversal. I said that goes in force, I'm entering. And boom, that's how, well, yeah, I'm entering, boom. Right around here at 3 o'clock is where I got 290%. So 2-2 reversal. Inside candle went in force on a daily, weekly, and then a 2-2 reversal on a 15 on the lower time frame, pushed into a 2-2 continuation into a 3 candle, and that's where we at right now. And that's how I got 292%. Just that simple. What more do you want from me? I trade the strat. Easy peasy, keep it simple. Have my plan all planned out. That's it. I'll be back.